Hello, YouTube. It's G-Man5338, your streetwise pirate. I wear this for work, yo. I wouldn't fucking leave my house with this thing on my head because I look like a fucking pirate. Anyways, I'm hitting you up today from Tested Metal Tattoo Company because I'm kind of stuck here at work right now. What have I got for you today? Well, it's your mental health minute, right? And it's kind of got to do with why I'm stuck down here in the studio. Check it if you want it.
We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together.
Now, I'm gonna preface this mental health minute with the fact that this is all some new revelations to me. I've got a serious issue going on with my left knee. Like my left leg is almost useless. It's pretty gimpy, and the only way I can get around is just to kind of drag it behind me. And I'm in like some severe pain from it, yo. It's hurting. But anyways, I didn't know about the correlation between physical pain and mental health issues, and all the shit that can kind of come from it, and how it can make things worse for a person who has PTSD. And we're going to explain why. So some of you may already be aware of this correlation, and it sort of, and maybe more along the lines that, depression can lead to physical pain. But this is sort of the other way around now, is that physical pain can lead to depression. Like chronic physical pain can lead to depression, and it can even make your nightmares worse. There are some studies that have come out. I think Harvard has actually published a couple studies on this. And basically it prolonged pain, sort of wears you down. And it makes things, very difficult for the sufferer. So some of you may already be aware of this, but this is all news to me. It's been about 2 months now. I've been hobbling around with this gimp leg, yo, and it's not getting any better. And I noticed that as my knee is getting worse, that my nightmares are progressively getting worse. I'm having more frequent bouts of kind of depressing moods, and just have this overall sort of depressing feeling that I'm left with. And I understand some of it. Like some of my depression from this results in feeling like a burden. People who have PTSD and who are still lucky enough to still have someone in their lives, supporting them, sometimes you do feel like a burden. And there's no two ways around that. But now, on top of that, I'm dealing with my leg, and it's affecting my family. And so now, like, my family has always sort of run their routine to deal with my PTSD and my issues. So my wife and I, we share the duties around the house to accommodate for my PTSD. But now with the physical issue, things are much different now. And so I notice more the effects of this on my family. And yeah, I really feel like a burden, and that's hard to sort of alleviate myself of that feeling right now anyways. And then just generally, I can't explain, the other sort of part of my depression. But, as I delve into this more, I realize the connection. And there's a number of studies out that back this, that, that chronic pain can lead to depression and fatigue. And also, I find that it affects my patience, that I have. I have limited patience normally. But with this, it's like there's just this extra pain in my ass, and so I'm a little more salty than fucking usual. You know what I mean? Again, like I'm just realizing how much this affects my PTSD. So I'm snapping a lot more. There's a depression, nightmares. My nightmares are starting to get very intense. I've been on kind of a good streak with my nightmares lately. But now, like I said, as the pain is getting worse and I'm not getting any sort of respite from it, it is friggin' doing shit to my nightmares. It's brutal. And anyway, so this has affected my patience. I've been snapping at the kids, snapping at my wife. My nightmares, like I said, they're so intense. I woke up and I didn't realize that I was home. It took quite a bit for me to clue in where I was. That's how intense the nightmares have been. And there's no real other reasonable explanation for it. I haven't gone through any mega triggers, in the past week. I just don't know what it is. And, like I said, the more I look into this, the more I realize that it's this chronic pain. So, if you are a PTSD sufferer and you start experiencing chronic pain, be ready, for what it is going to do to your PTSD. Likewise, if you are the caregiver or supporter of somebody with PTSD and you realize that, they're starting to have chronic pain, you should probably start, preparing for what's going to come from it. It's got me by surprise. And I'm trying to do my best with the tools that I've got to make my way through this. But it's definitely, increased the intensity of my nightmares. My depression and bouts of it have increased. My patience is much lower. So just be ready for it, people. Now, some channel news. All right, we had some cancellations. I was talking with Pat Mack he's a YouTuber, but he's an ex-US Special Forces guy, but he's pretty busy, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get him on the show. I'm trying not to bug him too much about it at this moment because he's a one-man show. He's got his own business. He trains, law enforcement. He trains the military. He's got his hands full. So I'll respect his business. And when he gets around to it, he'll hit us up. I'm going to start doing a show called Tattoo Talk. All right. Shit's been going on in town here. One of the shops, I know which shop it is, but I'm not going to shout it out, is playing dirty to get customers for themselves. And they're, I don't know, I'm not too impressed with this behavior. You know what I mean? So I want to talk a bit about the industry because I don't think people realize how cutthroat it is. I don't think people realize a lot of the behind the scenes shit that goes on. It can get pretty crazy sometimes. So I've got an artist. He's a great supporter of the show. His name is Crip Rick, and he's got Crip Rick tattoos out in Kingston, Ontario. So we're gonna start bringing him on the show on the regular, and we're gonna talk about just tattoo shit. You know what I mean? The industry, maybe some pointers for you if you're going out to get tattooed. The next bit of news is that I've convinced Wifey the ball bustress to come on my channel. Sort of. She won't actually come on the channel. She'll let me ask her questions, and she'll answer those questions. But that's as far as it goes. So what I've got planned and what we're working on right now, my wife and I, is to have 2 shows with her input, basically, and it'll be, 5 pieces of advice for living with and supporting somebody who has PTSD, and then also living with and supporting somebody who is, an ongoing addict, which is me, the alcoholic. So yeah, stay tuned for that stuff. It should be popping in the next week or so. I do have a bunch of videos that I just haven't gotten around to editing yet, and I'll just sort of randomly drop those as well. Until then, I hope you're all well. Stay up, stay strong, and look out for each other, people, because we are all we got. Peace.
Yo, this one's going out there to all my homies, my natives, my brothers, my family that's supporting me. Those that are overseas, those that are on lockdown, and those that are free.
We still living when the loving is gone. Kill, kill was a government song. Sing along, it's just my brothers in arms. Gotta stick together, now more